There is a woman named Emma McGinnis who is suing Disney for $50,000, not enough money if you ask me, over an incident in which she suffered a near fatal atomic wedgie. And look, all sympathy to this woman, but that phrasing,
the media is just dragging her,
hilarious,
man.
and the media is dragging her and kind of trivializing what happened. This was back in October 2019, so this is pre-COVID Disney. She was at the Orlando one. That's Disney World, right?
Yeah, they called it a gynecological incident.
Yeah, on the ride called Typhoon Lagoon. Let us know if any of you guys have been on the Typhoon Lagoon.
The slide carries with it specific risks about which Disney knew, or the exercise of reasonable care should have been known.
They got very lax about telling people the safety precautions. Like, you have to cross your legs when you go down. You have to be wearing shorts. And this woman did not get those warnings. So I guess she has grounds to sue. I think she could be asking for more.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like it was a horrible...
Like, $50,000 is nothing to Disney, and now your name is tied forever to Death Wedgie.
You would deserve more money just because your name is going to be showing up on Google by Injurious Wedgie for the rest of your life. So I saw this tweet that said, I keep seeing articles about a woman suing Disney after getting a wedgie on a water slide. To be clear, the woman was injured so badly that her intestines protruded through her abdominal wall and blood gushed out of her.
That's insane.
Disney is trying to downplay her very serious injuries. So maybe Disney has a hand in how the media is framing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it feels like having
to save their asses,
having it say wedgie in every headline. You can't blame the media. You can, because they're evil, but it's like they're
blame both them and Disney.
Yeah, you can blame us too, because we're putting it in the headline, right?
It's funny. I'm sorry,
but like she should be suing for more. She should absolutely be suing.
$50,000 is not enough.
Like, $50,000 is not enough to have your intestines coming out of your body,
and to be made fun of on the internet this much. Like, a lot of people don't know how serious it was.
Like, look at this headline and tell me that like you don't like at least want to giggle.
Right, exactly. And people are comparing this to the famous lawsuit of the woman that got burnt by her McDonald's coffee.
That was a very famous one.
And she was dragged by the media too. Maybe McDonald's had something to do with that. I don't know. But she was dragged by the media because it just sounds like a ridiculous complaint. And this was before Karens were a thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
oh, goodness.
She was like...
She's gonna get an atomic wedgie.
She was characterized as the first Karen.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds like you're trying to do a money grab. You're trying to do a cash grab lawsuit for no reason. But this woman that got burnt by her coffee, it was like third degree or like fourth degree burns that she suffered.
Yeah, there's a
made her, like, I think she like died overall, like, as a result of what happened. She was like elderly and she had lifelong...
No, there's a Wikipedia, if I remember correctly, there's a Wikipedia entry for that.
The McDonald's.
For the McDonald's
let me look that up then.
It says, the impact of the slide and Emma's impact into the standing water at the bottom of the slide caused Miss McGinnis' clothing to be painfully forced between her legs and for water to be violently forced inside of her, says the complaint. She experienced immediate and severe pain internally, and as she stood up, blood began rushing from between her legs. This sounds like a horror movie scene. You guys saw Saw this weekend.
Imagine vacating Typhoon Lagoon after that happened.
Prince Namor says, the coffee was hot.
Okay, so it says, a woman named Mabel Childress. I mean, she just sounds old.
Mabel, yes.
Miss Mabel, filed a lawsuit against McDonald's over a scalding cup of coffee with an improperly attached lid, resulted in the coffee pouring out on her body, causing severe burns after she tried drinking it. And then another old woman sued them in 1992. She was 79. She also was burned by McDonald's coffee while sitting in her car, and she got $3 million in damages.
$3 million! Lady, you got a bloody atomic wedgie. Sue for at least $10 million with inflation.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but I think that they like found out the coffee was 180 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. So obviously that's Like, she's not being dramatic. And McDonald's might have, wanted to make her seem like she was just being litigious and overdramatic. Disney has a similar interest in doing the same thing. And then you told me about these other 2 lawsuits where one woman is suing Disney at the same time here after falling off of a 3-foot drop on a test track at Epcot.
Yep.
I don't know much about this one. She's suing for $50,000, right?
Yep. Or no, I thought it was more.
Or more.
Yeah.
And then another one is a lawsuit involving a child that suffered whiplash on Peter Pan's flight. It unexpectedly stopped and then violently restarted again at Magic Kingdom. The child's father is suing Disney. It doesn't say for how much.
Somebody in the chat says it is all starting to feel very Final Destination-esque. These things, the film Final Destination.
I haven't seen that film.
Look, all of this it's dangerous, but there is the idea that people. Who was I talking to over the weekend? Where we were talking about sometimes the American dream is just to slip and fall in the right driveway, and I was like every time I would walk into a Target parking lot, secretly I'd think, wouldn't it be nice if I just hit a patch of ice and tripped and fell, so that you can sue and make a ton of money. I think I said that on the Ballers episode because Shane told this story about a woman who broke her jaw and her jaw came through her mouth and locked into place. Because she wouldn't stop trying to talk on the broken jaw. And I'm just the American dream really is that you just slip, fall, and the right ride
fall
goes
into a pile
wrong.
Of money.
The wrong ride goes goes wrong at the right time. The right ride goes wrong at the right time.
Yeah.
And you hope to come out of it financially ahead. Right? That would be the beauty of something like this. Do you ever go? Are you a ride person?
I've never been on a roller coaster specifically.
Not a roller
I don't
coaster
think I've
person?
been on any serious rides.
Yeah.
I'm not a big risk taker, but I would do a roller coaster now.
Did you see the video of MrBeast launching the roller coasters at the house?
No.
Okay, so I wonder if we can we show MrBeast videos without it getting
I feel like we might get copyright.
He did this thing called the roller coaster challenge.
Where you just destroy shit with a roller coaster.
Yeah, no, that's literally what it is.
Yeah, as if anybody else is going to participate in this
MrBeast's
roller coaster
newest
challenge.
Video, they performed a stunt where they removed the track from a roller coaster, causing the car to jump off and crash through a trailer. But
are there people in that?
No.
Okay.
They put dummies in it.
Okay.
I do love how now MrBeast has become a sociopathic child who pulls the head off of his dolls. That's what it is now. It's awesome. I get a huge kick out of it.
In 1986, Smart's amusement park.
So yeah, the video shows. Let's see if we can.
Zyklon 40.
So that's the same one.
That was the It's at the park there, it says last to leave the roller coaster with these are all old. He's got several videos that involve roller coasters, so yeah, that he did that for. Oh yeah, there it is.
MrBeast is Kid Dynamite.
Some people just want to dance. MrBeast just wants to blow up roller coasters.
It's his passion.
It's his passion. I get a kick out of MrBeast. I was never really a fan, and I get it, but more maybe it's just because we have to watch so much depressing shit all day that seeing vaguely wholesome.
At least he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah, seeing vaguely wholesome stuff is is something that I get more of a kick out of nowadays because there's perspective there. But now, who knows? Now next time somebody's going to be in the ride and somebody's going to get an atomic wedgie and they're going to sue MrBeast for $50,000 and he will literally sneeze it out of his nose. $50,000 will just appear. It's incredible. It's but yeah, how do you feel like this is one of those things because we're more litigious as a society? Because it feels like a lot of times with stuff like this now.
These cases sound legitimate.
Legitimate to you? Yeah,
I'm sure.
And
and even if this is people being opportunistic and litigious, I don't care. Disney should have to pay out anyway.
Make them pay, we say. There's nothing wrong with making Disney pay for their stupidity.
They already pay for their stupidity with all of their movie releases.
Yes.
So.
Well, we end up talking about them and being upset with them, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, $50K kind of low.
could have sued him for more, Mickey. Like I would love them to like that. That is so low. Like when you think about when was the lawsuit from the coffee one?
1994.
$3 million in 1994. What is that now? Chat. How much is $3 million?
Like 10 mil?
Like, you should be suing Disney for at least 10 million, or at least what you do, you sue them for 20 so that they send you a low ball that's at least $1 million.
Brett, what would you do if you woke up one morning and you were in Taylor Swift's body? You could be her for a day.
I would put a bunch of money in my bank account.
You would Venmo yourself.
I would wire.
I don't know if they allow you to send.
I would wire transfer myself. I send some on Venmo, some on. I'd wire transfer
Diversify
bank.
your assets.
I'd buy a shit ton of crypto in my name. There's a $20 one there from Nessa Ludden.
You should rock your Target red and ankle socks.
She's saying that, ladies and gentlemen, because Nessa. I worked with Vanessa at Target back in the day. I managed a photo lab at a Target back in the day. I did not wear ankle socks because I heard that ankle socks are bad now.
Can you tell me like what the weirdest photos were?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So on more than one occasion I saw dead bodies because cops brought in pictures for.
They can't do that on their own. They can't develop their photos.
They were like late for court and needed extra copies. I saw the very weird shit that couples would bring in. Yeah. I don't know if they just thought you didn't look at the photos.
Of course you have to.
Like it would be weird because like you offered like retouching on the photos, and then they'd be like, "Did you look at my photos?" Like, well, we had to do the retouching, so yes. Weird sexual shit would come up from time to time, but cops like
weird or just.
I mean, weird for something to be shown publicly to another person that they didn't want to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bachelor and bachelorette parties were always. Well, oddly enough, we'll get into that later. We always had crazy photos.
That's fun.
Because this was so long ago. This is back when you still brought disposable cameras.
Like you see like Justin Trudeau in blackface.
Basically, and yes, and Halloween would always I always looked forward to the day after Halloween.
That's so
lots of
nostalgia.
What I imagine extremely professional women dressed and behaving not very professionally with their Halloween photos. Lots of that.
And if they had known that you get to look at the photos, would they have?
I think most of them knew. I think the women knew. The women seemed smarter than the men when it came to photo printing and stuff like that.
The dead bodies is pretty weird. Yeah.
Yeah, like that, and then or like huge drug raids where they would confiscate large amounts of drugs and they'd have to have pictures of it. At the bust. I don't know.
Damn.
You know, like you'd think that would be done in house, but I assume is like the originals were printed there. But like whenever this would happen, it would always be by some plainclothes who was in a hurry. So it must have been like they were on their way to court and they forgot they needed a second copy or something like that.
Okay.
It was a weird. I love that job though. Like at times it was like that and I loved delivering medications. That was my favorite job that I ever had. I drove a regular car around the state of Minnesota to deliver to like people that were rich enough that they could afford like prescriptions to be delivered to their house. Like a lot of times it was like elderly people in like hospice care or stuff like that, but just basically like drove a work car all around the state and listened to. Unfortunately, podcasts weren't as popular as they are now. But
listen to a radio shock jock.
I listened to a lot of like just my iPod. It was literally an iPod at the time because
like you plug in your iPod Shuffle.
Yeah, like just your regular iPod, and then yeah. And back then, I remember when I was telling you, like back then we didn't even have like your phone didn't even have a map on it. You had to use a freaking Garmin to do the map. Yeah, you didn't have access to a phone with a map on it at the time because most phones at that time.
I'm so glad that I started driving in the age of smartphones just because I have no sense of direction.
Yeah, I was explaining that to Ian on Friday. I'm like, you literally, because like I said that like when I stopped driving back in like 2013 or 2012, it was 2013. Like you just like you just knew how to get places, or you had a Garmin or something like that. But for the most part, you just knew how to get where you were going. And when I started driving again, now I'm in a whole different state, and you have to start all over. And it was really weird to be back driving. And you use different parts of your brain.
Calling you a drug mule.
Technically, I was I was technically a legal drug mule. Yes, I worked for a pharmacy, or for it was technically like a medical supply company. But like they had one division that did prescription delivery, and another division that delivered like medical equipment to be delivered to these places. And I used to have like it was like a scale of how depressing the nursing homes were, because they're all depressing. But there was one where I would be like, I would literally have to like take like Prozac before going. It was so freaking depressing to go into.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it. So thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.